Welcome back to Rare Elvis Photos. I hope you enjoyed the video that dropped this morning, inside Elvis. There's some great things that Ed Parker is sharing with us that I hadn't heard before, and some things to look into, like where Charlie Hodge claimed that he did Elvis's hair when Larry Geller. Now I think that Larry and Charlie both went over to where Elvis was laying to prepare him for the visitation and the funeral. So, and I don't know, maybe, we have to look into that. But we know that Charlie was a very dear friend to Elvis and very loyal to Elvis, and somebody that Elvis had around and chose to have around from the early days, that was never fired, like Red West and Sonny West were. So, but there's some interesting things in that book. If you haven't read it yet, and you haven't seen my video of the section I'm reading, go check it out. Once again, there's a playlist. You just click on Rare Elvis Photos below the video, and then click on playlist, and you'll see the different books that I'm reading. So, Amy, on the Rare Book Alert Inside Elvis, Priscilla locking everyone out of the Lisa Marie. That was the very first Inside Elvis that I put out. But she said, why don't you provide Desiree with some of the lock of Elvis's hair that you've been gifted, and a DNA test can settle whether she's an offspring of his. I kind of looked into that because I was curious, about DNA and hair. And what I've read is that unless you actually have the part of the hair that connects to the scalp, you're not going to get DNA. DNA won't survive that long on a hair follicle. I need to look into it more, but I would certainly volunteer if that's what she wanted to do. But I thought I heard somewhere that she did do 3 blood tests and they were all conclusive. Now, I don't know. What I do know is that, gosh, have we heard anything about it since the book came out? Not much since the 80s. They didn't try to sue the estate. They didn't go for a money grab. So I tend to believe stories like that just as much or even more than somebody that is suing the estate for money. Now, I'm not saying that those that sue the estate for money don't have a claim. I've talked to Deborah Presley Brando a little bit. And I may, once again, I got to get through what I'm getting through here, but I may cover her story as well. I don't know. Once again, I'm all about bringing as many angles as possible. None of this puts Elvis in a bad light. Elvis loved people. We already know Elvis loved a lot of different women. So it wouldn't surprise me. Cleveland Claire, what's going on? Another book that I would suggest reading is Elvis and Gladys. It's very well written and documented. It was written about a few years after Elvis's death, and the author went out to interview many people who have known Elvis and Gladys while they were still among us. In the book, we can read quite a lot on details about Gladys's life from the beginning, plus Elvis's birth and his childhood days, along with his teenage years up to his adult life, and his rise to fame. The book ends around the time he goes to Germany. Thank you for reading these books. You bet. I think it's Claire Klevik. I think you just have Klevik.Claire because that's kind of like a Gmail thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's going on, Gasina? Just a question: are these books, or if hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, are these books available in South Africa? I love reading. Please continue reading to us. Appreciate it when you have time. Hey, thanks for the comment. I wish I could tell you whether they were available or not. They were probably available in a large city if it's one of those books that's a widely known book. Some of these books are not as widely known, so you're probably not going to find them. Hi, Lorraine. On the Elvis and Kathy shocking details about Linda and Ginger. Ginger gets a lot of unfair comments, but I found her book a great read, and she seems a lovely lady. At some point in time, I think I'll get to that book too. There's a lot of books, and I did reach out to Ginger, by the way. Somebody from this channel put a message out to her that I had done a video, and so I reached out to her and I said, hey, if you're interested in having a conversation, I think my subscribers would be interested in what you have to hear. We'll see what she says, or if she even responds. And if you're on her page, say, hey, Rare Elvis Photos wants to talk to you. She may or may not be able to. She might have contracts. Who knows? Was Priscilla creeping around Nashville trying to get on stage with Riley Keough? I was at that Nashville event, by the way. Obviously, I did a live for it. Hey, Swan Doll, thanks for the monetary donation, the thanks thing you did the other day. I think Riley may not want to think too much about Elvis because of Ben. He was compared to him all the time, even from Lisa. She did name her daughter Tupelo. I think that there's something to that, too. there's sadness that's associated with Elvis because of her mom and because of the pressure that her brother was under. So I think we have to handle Riley with kid gloves as much as possible. Satnin. Hey, I like the name. Johnny, you're a wee Jim. Thanks for sharing your stories with us. Sending love from Scotland. That's very cool. Well, I'll have to send that to Johnny. Priscilla Child Bride was Priscilla Presley taken advantage of by her stepfather. Team Elvis is a very interesting book. It is. And Team Elvis, I love autumn. So do I. It's probably my favorite time with the exception of the allergies. And I am allergied up right now. It's tough to talk, tough to read. Certainly tough to sing. Which is why normally our performances when my wife and I go play, they kind of end around October. We don't really do anything until March or April. Angela, Elvis tells people to shut up because they were singing about Jesus while cheating on his wife constantly. I think there was something I read in the book there. But the thing is, I think they were at the kitchen table or hotel table or something. He had something important to say. Nobody was listening to him, so that's what happened there. Rosemary Hardy, 6067, another good song, thank you. I love writing songs about Elvis. I love writing songs in general. And I probably should play some other songs that, but this is an Elvis channel, so I probably won't share. But if you have an interest, just go to Google and type in The Sins Country, and you'll see our records on iTunes and stuff. Or type in Joe Sins Country Music, Reverb Nation, things like that. I've got songs there. What's up, Alan Hansford? That is something. Yes, it's pretty crazy. Well, let me play some music. What's up, Elvis78 ALE? I'll play some music, come back, read a few more comments, and we're going to get on to more reading today. We got plenty to read. And I'm excited. In fact, I'm kind of on some cliffhangers for a lot of these books. So hopefully you don't miss any episodes. But once again, if you click on Rare of his photos and then find where it says playlist, you'll find the different books that I'm reading. And hopefully you won't miss out. All right? Hey, I got to read this one comment here because I think this person is contraire to Child Bride. So I'm going to give her say, or his say. I said a girl, I guess, Supergirl UK1. Child Bride has been proven to be very inaccurate and badly researched. People ignore that Lisa and Priscilla were very close once Lisa matured. Lisa has given interviews that differ greatly from her book, which Riley confirmed was recorded when Lisa was in a very dark place. Share those interviews because, for the most part, she's always tortured when her mom's around. And also, maybe they had developed a little bit of a relationship, but that ended, at least from what I saw. Once she found out, when she sued Barry Siegel, when she found out that her mama was collecting $1 million a year, $900,000, from her money, doing nothing, stealing from her daughter because she's an entitled little prat. Prissy. That's my response to that. I do appreciate you coming on, and that is your opinion, and that's why I read it. All right, so here's some tribute music. Now, a lot of y'all have heard these songs already, but the reason why I kind of keep putting them on here is that there's plenty of you that are new subscribers, plenty of you that are not even subscribers that are watching on YouTube Premium that don't have an actual username that might not have heard this, and it's going to end up being on Apple Music under The Sins Country, and the title of it's going to be called Rare Elvis Photos, Songs of Elvis. So keep an eye out. Once again, I had it scheduled for the October 18th and October 23rd, but logistically, there's just a lot of things going on legally with YouTube and Apple Music that I got to be very careful. I don't have any issues. That's all. All right, TCB, here's some Elvis music that I've written, and we'll talk soon.
He shot her up like a firework in 1954 when everything on records and TV was a bore. Locks of hair falling down over his sullen eyes. It's twisting in and out and didn't even realize he was every daddy's nightmare and every daughter's dream. Those mothers didn't know they should have those girls to scream. Right along beside them as all the cameras flashed. Without Elvis, there's no Orbison, Jerry Lee, or Cash. He was straight out of Tupelo, the Memphis Flash. The institution tried to ban him, cops lined up at shows. They said, shake it one more time, son, we'll see how your headline goes. But Elvis, he just stood there, wiggling his one finger. They still screamed and rushed the stage for their favorite singer. He was every daddy's nightmare and every daughter's dream. Those mothers didn't know they should have those girls to scream. Right along beside them as all the cameras flashed. Without Elvis, there's no Orbison, Jerry Lee, or Cash. He was straight out of Tupelo, the Memphis Flash. The institution tried to ban him, cops lined up at shows. They shake it one more time, son, we'll see how your story goes. But Elvis, he just stood there, wiggling his one finger. They still screamed and rushed the stage for their favorite rock and singer. He was every daddy's nightmare and every daughter's dream. Those mothers didn't know they should have their nose scream. Right along beside them as all the cameras flashed. Without Elvis, there'd be no Jerry Lee or Johnny Cash. He was straight out of Tupelo, Memphis Flash. He still makes them cry and smile to this very day. There will never be another Elvis, mark the words here that I say. He was every daddy's nightmare and every daughter's dream. Those mothers didn't know they should have those girls to scream. Right along beside them as all the cameras flashed. Without Elvis, there's no Orbison, Jerry Lee, or Cash. He was straight out of Tupelo, the Memphis Flash. He was straight out of Tupelo, Elvis, the Memphis Flash.
If you're still here, hey, Karen Tranter, thank you. You said, I love your reading Elvis and Kathy book. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate you coming on and thanking me for that. And keep tuning in. Hopefully there's more books that you'll enjoy reading with me as you're doing housework or you're driving down the road or you're CEO of a company. Everybody's in a different situation out there. Maybe you're in the hospital. Barbara, I love this book. First time I heard about Lucy. I think it's my favorite one. She was a courageous woman. Well, I'm sure that Desiree, her daughter, will enjoy seeing that. When I hear the song, Love the One You're With, Elvis comes to mind, says Riley. Elvis was just different. You know, Elvis didn't have, we can't compare our lives and our judgments in relationships to what Elvis experienced in his life. That's the one thing that he is very unique when it comes to everyone. Regarding Desiree, I wonder if she inherited any of the Elvis genetic health issues. Love your channel. Thank you. Well, if I get a chance to ask her, I will. All right, so here's some more music. Enjoy the comments, and I'll pop back on.
She held him close to her heart from the very start. Through every joy and fear, she kept him near and dear, with a love that's pure and true. In everything she'd do, a mother's guiding light shone through the Elvis night. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Holding her hand, he found peace, and all her worries would not cease. that shares a bond that never fades. It loves me tender shades. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Found peace, and all her worries would not cease. They shares a bond that never fades. It loves me tender shades. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. With every note he'd sing, he danced on her heartstrings. A melody so sweet made their bond complete. Oh, Gladys loved her son until her big old heart gave out. And there's no greater love than a mother's love. Yeah, there's no greater love than a mother's love. The shadow of the king still haunts the Memphis night. In the dimming southern light, Graceland comes alive. He walks those southern halls, his footsteps fall and fall, until those gates up front swing wide and bring his fans inside. Elvis looks out, smiles down at the crowd, from his window way up high at Graceland, watching time go by, watching over us all, day after day, night after night.
Hope you enjoyed seeing your comments. Till next time, this is Rare Elvis Photos, TCB TLC.